So if you're like me, time is like the thing that you don't have any of, right? And so this is why passive investing is so important. When people talk about passive investing, it's buying houses, it's trading strategies online. A lot of times people misinterpret what passive investing really is. I'm going to get into what passive investing is and how you can do it with very little time to be able to generate cash flow for yourself. So if you're interested in getting some cash flow, this video is for you. Let's jump in, 3 easy steps and a quote for you at the end. All right, hello. My name is Bronson Hill. I'm the CEO of Bronson Equity. If we haven't met, we do properties like this behind me. We help provide investors with opportunities in businesses, oil and gas, and multifamily properties for cash flow appreciation or tax benefits. So let's jump in. So, a lot of times people will think passive investing is actually something that you just put money in and you do a little bit of work and it's there. But there's a lot of things that are parading as passive investments and they're not. If you own a single family house, if you own a rental house, if you're doing online trading or option strategies, if you have an online business or own a franchise, these are not passive because you can't scale them up without taking more of your time. You might say, well, they don't take a lot of time. But the question is, if you have 3 rental houses, could you 10x? This is called the scalability test. This is from my book, Fire Yourself. And it basically is if you can't 10x what you're currently doing, so if you can go from 3 houses to 30 houses without it being a full-time job for you, then it's not passive. So to go and acquire those houses, to go find a property manager for them, to get tenants in there, and to manage even as things come up, people are maybe tenants have issues and there's repairs that need to happen. It takes a lot of work. So a lot of these things that we say are passive are not actually passive. What a passive investment is, I'm going to define this for you. It's where you put a little bit of work on the front end, you vet a deal, you vet a property, and then you choose to invest. You put your money in, and at that point you are hands off, right? You're not actually the one who's doing anything. The one who's doing it is the operator, is the partner, and you simply receive the mailbox money, right? And that's the name of my podcast called The Mailbox Money Show. We talk about this topic all the time. We have interviews we put on this YouTube channel as well. And basically it's about mailbox money. Now you may receive it as a direct deposit. Mailbox money sounded a little bit more catchy, so I did that, right? The idea that you're investing and the money just shows up, right? And that's how it works. You get the reporting, you have communication, and then you're also getting the cash flow, which is awesome because then it allows you to make more money without taking up more of your time. Now I have a buddy that I know who's a high-paid physician doing very well, and he's digging a ditch at his house because he's trying to save a few bucks. Right? And I said, well, you're going to save, maybe a few $1,000 or 5,000, whatever the amount is. But how much do you think his time is worth? I think his time is probably worth hundreds of dollars an hour. He could literally hire somebody from Home Depot for 10 or 15 bucks an hour or less and have them go dig the ditch for him, right? So there's this principle of who, not how. There's a great book out there called Who, Not How. Highly recommend it. And it's a lot of times we'll have a problem. And in this case, I'm looking for more cash flow. And then we'll say, well, how am I going to solve this problem? But that's the wrong question. The question is, who is going to solve this problem for me, right? So that's where, when it comes to investing, getting into passive investments with great partners can be an awesome alternative for you. So I want to get into kind of how to maximize this for you. How do you maximize your investments? Well, the first thing is to really look at appreciation versus cash flow. There's different deals that have appreciation, which is great. Some of these apartment buildings that we do behind me, they grow over time. They provide some cash flow as well. But I think the best investments are ones that provide cash flow. Some great opportunities for this. Oil and gas also provides great tax benefits and cash flow. And then also private businesses. We've bought some businesses. We're in the process of buying another one that just lots and lots of cash flow, right? And that's what allows you, as my book would say, to fire yourself. It's what allows you to actually replace your living expenses. I only needed about 5 or 6K a month to be able to cover my living expenses. Your number may be much higher, but you don't necessarily have to replace your income. You just cover your living expenses to start, and even if you just kind of make progress on that, eventually you'll get there and you make work optional, right? It's a way you can do it. So I really prefer deals that have cash flow. I even prefer some of the safer deals that have consistent cash flow versus paying monthly or quarterly because they allow you to really develop that cash flow. And honestly, again, it's all about growing wealth consistently over time, and that's what cash flow will do for you. The final thing really is, how do you balance, having a full-time job with building passive income? How do you do that? And I'll just share a little bit of my story. I was working full-time. I was working 30, 40 hours a week. I kind of dialed it back a little bit during COVID and stuff, and I was able to really focus on this. And I spent 30 plus hours a week doing real estate. And you say, well, that's kind of workaholic. That's a lot of work. And I said, well, I did it for a couple of years, and then I had enough going after 2 or 3 years. I was able to dial it back and quit the W-2 and go full-time with investing. And I've seen a number of people do that, where they've been able to build, and then they're able to scale back. So sometimes, again, it's the invest the time now, and then you can have scheduled relaxed time later. Now, I'm still taking vacations. I traveled 6 times in 2024. I think about the same in 2023. I went to the base camp of Everest, went to India, went to Portugal, Ireland, just some of these really fun places, Mexico a couple times. So I encourage you to, have goals for yourself, look at what you want to do. But a lot of times people will say, and you may be saying this, Bronson, I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to work on myself. I don't have the hours to do it. I promise you do it. I'm going to tell you here, I'm going to prove to you how you do, right? So typically the average American will spend 3 hours a day watching TV, right? 3 hours a day, so that's 21 hours a week, right? Just 7 days a week, 3 hours a day on average. Some are watching, maybe you're watching more. And then there's a couple more. There's 2 more hours people are spending on social media, watching videos or doing other things. That's 5 hours a day. So if you just take those 5 hours a day and you take some of them, right, and you put them into investing in yourself, that's 35 hours right there. So how was I able to grow wealth while working full time? I just stopped watching TV. I stopped getting into social media, right? And that was what really allowed me to grow. So kind of in conclusion here, just start learning, take action, and invest passively now. They say that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, right? Because you can benefit from it now, but the second best time is today. So really take action. We'd love to know what your strategy is and what you're looking to do. You can stick that in the comments below. Robert Kiyosaki has this great quote. It says, "Don't work for money, make money work for you." Right? So don't just work for money, let your money actually work for you. And then I want to share this video with you. It gives us some more details of how you actually specifically do this, but how to replace your working income with passive income in 3 years or less. It's up here. It's also the topic or the subtitle of my book, Fire Yourself, which you can see on the shelf behind me. And if you haven't joined our investment club, you're not hearing about the great deals we're doing, I highly encourage you to do it. We have deals in multifamily, oil and gas, and other businesses, a lot of cash flow stuff we're seeing right now. So check out the link below, and thanks for taking the time to educate yourself.